We in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Practice? We talking about practice, man. We talking about practice.
He said it 22 times. I can't believe that was 18 years ago. Stephen A. Smith joining us now. So, Stephen A., many people forget you covered Allen Iverson daily. You weren't in Philly the day of the famous practice rant, but you knew what AI was going through in his roller coaster relationship with head coach Larry Brown. And according to former Sixers GM Billy King, this was supposed to be a normal press conference. So what was the backstory to why Iverson was so upset?
Well, a couple of things happened. Number one, a guy, nicknamed Ra, his name was Rashawn Langford, was a very, very, very good friend of Allen Iverson. I knew him well as well. He was a good guy, and he was murdered a few weeks earlier, and his killer was on trial around that particular moment in time, right before Allen Iverson had that infamous press conference. Not to mention the fact that earlier that day, with all the trade rumors circulating, or not necessarily trade rumors, but rumors that Allen Iverson was going to potentially be traded by Larry Brown because he was really running basketball operations, and Billy King had answered to him. It wasn't the other way around. As a result, Allen Iverson had a conversation with Larry Brown earlier that day. By that evening, he felt that what he had heard from Larry Brown at that particular moment in time was inconsistent with the rhetoric that he was hearing from others. And then this whole message was, listen, I averaged 31 a game last year. I took us to the NBA Finals. I won league MVP. We go to the Finals. The following year, we had a rougher season. I still averaged 31 a game. We get bounced out in the first round, and they looking at me, and the excuse is practice, because I was late to practice, so I'm not prioritizing practice as much as Larry Brown would have liked him to. His mentality is, I'm a superstar in this league. To talk about trading me because of my practice habits is utterly ridiculous. That's how he viewed it. He's embarrassed to some degree by that soundbite that has reverberated over the last 18 years. But in terms of his belief that, you know what, you're trying to trade me because of practice, he still finds that utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, it was an emotional time for him, and of course going back and forth with many of the media as it was continuing to build in that conversation. He's a loyal guy. You know that, Stephen A. You mentioned it briefly. He's embarrassed by it. At times in his post-career, he's laughed a little bit about it with some of the writers. What have you talked to him about that day as a reflection?
No, well, we talk at least twice or three times a month. He's like a little brother to me. I covered him for the first, 9-10 years of his career. We're very close. And, the thing about it is that he recognized that soundbite didn't make him look good because it made him look like he didn't care about practice. And that's not what he was trying to say. He was going through a lot. He doesn't consider himself the great orator that some people may believe he is. I love interviewing him. But it's one of those things where you look at him and he's of the mindset that, again, I was a superstar in this league. I understand that I wasn't perfect. I understand that practice is important. I understand that you need to prioritize practice. But for me to go out on the court night in, night out and do what I do and play every play like it's my last, to be talking about trading me just because you don't like my practice habits, his mentality is, tell me a superstar that's ever existed in professional sports that got traded because of their practice habits. He couldn't understand it. He still doesn't understand that to this very day.